welcome back everyone, welcome back to the RSL 2026 RSL Revival Season 5 Playoffs Day 4 co-stream. I'm of course SI VIP, with him joined by these amazing players by the Hoon Chat, and of course by our main casters as well, Gemini and State. Welcome and all. Bienvenidos, we are back. We have returned with our second day of the week here when it comes to the RSL playoffs. Again, we are almost concluded. Next week will be the final week of playoffs, and you can see our upcoming matches ahead of us here. Bam, having a look at the bracket itself, we do have a herO versus Solar facing off in the upper portion of the bracket in the upper semifinals, followed by Clem versus Lambo. Those are going to be today's matches. Next week we have the remainder of the bracket, which is going to be the lower bracket, of course, the upper bracket finals, and then the grand finals thereafter. Oh boy. So again, 2 days left. 2 weeks. 2 weeks left here for the RSL Season 5 event. And tonight's broadcast is going to consist of 2 best of 5s. Solar versus herO and Clem versus Lambo. Let's go. Let us go. Bienvenidos. Good to see you. Shema, papi Shema. Bienvenidos. I see Steelbold in the chat as well. Solensbard. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you all. Whew, has this been a very intense week of StarCraft, not gonna lie. I'll be honest, I'm looking forward to next week when RSL comes to an end, because it's just been non-stop StarCraft with RSL and GSL layered upon each other. These tournament organizers, they gotta schedule themselves, because because having GSL and RSL like in the same week for multiple weeks on end has been pretty intense. It's been pretty intense, and we'll get through it. we'll make it. Bearing in mind that my assist of the game is right after this. So once RSL concludes, once GSL concludes, my assist of the game will start back up, and then we have Home Story Cup on the horizon as well. So still a lot of content, still a lot of StarCraft. Meanwhile, big shout out to the main sponsor of the event, to Archon Studio. Archon Studios for, of course, creating the StarCraft tabletop miniatures game, and of course for sponsoring, and for soon to be releasing their product, by the way, that is on the horizon also by the end of the month. Oh boy, that's a lot going on, Pappy. Yeah. But again, our first series is going to be a best of 5 between herO and Solar. Coming to our matches here, shout out to those, I was going to say shout out to RSL for opening it up to an international audience, but that has been the case for quite some time. Again, Clem, he's looking like a beast as of late, so is herO. Solar has been struggling. If you're watching GSL, Solar failed to make it out of the round of 12. Solar, he's out of the round of 12 of GSL, so very early on. So Solar, he is hungry. He's hungry for a good result. He's hungry for better tournament standings, but he's up against herO, you know, the best Protoss player in the world. So it's not an easy opponent. Hopefully Solar has been spending this time in preparation for these matches, as he cannot hold back. Not here. I mean, I say that. Thankfully, there is a lower bracket, so there's a bit of a safety net to catch the losing player, but you don't want to be down there, right? You don't want to be down there. You don't want to be on the lower bracket.
herO Solar, this is just going to be a crazy match, and then of course any of them going against the Zergs in the lower bracket. I mean, you don't want to play those players this early on in the tournament, I would say.
Yeah, but it's also exciting as a caster and as a fan, because it means that no matter how this bracket shakes out, we're going to get some incredible matches over today and next week.
We're very happy. The players aren't, but we
have the vetoes.
Are feasting.
So we have our vetoes here. Game 1, at Attorney's Edge. Game 2, Rorschach, followed by Necropolis, Celestial Enclave, and Ruby Rock. I should also very quickly add on that when it comes to our map pool for this tournament, it is a custom map pool that has some ladder maps, it has some TLMC maps, and it has some older last season maps as well. So there's a bit of a mixture going on here. At Attorney's Edge and Rorschach, those are 2 new TLMC maps. Celestial Enclave and Ruby Rock, those are ladder maps, and Necropolis is an older TLMC map. So we have a nice mixture of a best of 5 going on here, and we'll see how our players will approach each other, which jumping straight into the first game. Oh my god.
On at Attorney's Edge. What a strange map to say. On attack. Start the game.
Gemini.
Okay.
Start playing.
As always, happy to have you here. As herO spawns in the top left is the blue Protoss, Solar down in the bottom right as the red Zerg. No early probe scout, by the way, from herO, which makes me wonder.
Early drone. In the bottom right hand corner, we do have the South Korean Zerg player in Solar.
I feel like with herO, you either get the probe going out.
Top left representing T1, it is herO. And very quickly, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Coming into this, I would say that herO's favored, but Solar, he is a strong player in his own right, and he's being cheeky going for the proxy hatch.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
Very cool. I'm curious to see how this shapes up, especially considering that herO is not scouting, since he's going for the full green.
So something that we did mention when it comes to our analysis of this map for at Attorney's Edge, the rush distance by ground is very short on that right-hand side. So Solar, he immediately just rushes across the map, goes to the proxy hatchery, early pool, no gas geyser by the way. So no link speed, no roaches. It's purely going to be a spine rush. That's why another drone just got sent. Whoa, hold on. He's rushing into the high yield gas. He's crazy.
On that right there. So very curious to see what Solar's going to be doing.
It's going to be a roach all-in with high yield gas proxied. That's insane.
I guess maybe just to mine from the gas as well.
Yeah, to mine for the gas.
Yeah, I guess
it's
what
for
are
the
you,
gas.
yeah, what are you even going to do with this? That's
It's got to
so
be
interesting.
It's got to be for Roach Ravager.
It's gonna be
I don't think
roaches.
you need this much gas if you're going to do something like a Baneling bust. Although I might be proven wrong here. It feels
Yeah, there's a roach
it's
horn.
going to be for roaches. And look at how well,
As you mentioned, but this is a crazy build on that Attorney's Edge.
Mines the high yield Vespian
He's crazy.
gas. It arrives at the hatchery to drop it off. Oh, this is a really cool build that we're seeing from Solar. Now hero's going to find this out. Now the one thing that is good for herO is that he went for the greediest build imaginable. He didn't get the scout off, but that means that his Stargate is going to be the fastest it could possibly be.
So here he sees a roach horn, so he knows, right? He sees the early roach horn. He's aware of the all-in. Going for a Stargate opener, he could go Void Ray first.
Unfortunately for herO, he does throw it down just a little bit later than the optimal timing, and now he's seeing the Ling, so he knows there is a proxy hatch close to his base, but he doesn't know it's going to be these roaches. He scouted no gas in the main base of Solar. He might think this is going to be spines.
Yeah, that's it.
No, he saw the roach horn, so he knows gases are taken. Yeah, shout out to the observer.
Very good. So you will get the confirmation where this proxy
State's like, yo, he might think it's a spine rush. And it's like, no, he saw the roach horn, and the observer pointed it out as well. Shout out to the observer. Shout out to old mate Ziggy. Sorry, I mean Mapu.
Doesn't want to get jumped, so needs to stay clear from that wall for now, waiting for the rest of the units. But yeah, we're going to be getting some units out from the Stargate. Yeah, I like that Void Ray first. Just get that consistent.
So mentioned Void Ray first here. It's going to be very tight defense for herO. There's going to be some anti-air in the Queen.
But you could also
On the biles.
on the batteries. A couple of biles getting thrown down on the pylon for now, as there's no healing because the batteries are not here.
Yeah, the battery's a little bit too late. The Stalker barely. Oh, no, it's going to get out. Oh, it survives.
With some of these Ravagers and the pylon getting killed off. That is an Artosis pylon, absolutely, as everything is getting depowered, and now there's nothing here. The Void Ray needs to save the day.
Yeah, everything's depowered. It all goes down. Void Ray does arrive and will zone away the army, but there's still that Queen. Ooh, the biles don't quite connect. Now a second Queen has arrived, and Sully's taking over the natural.
On hero's base.
Taking over.
I think hero's doing the smart thing right now. He's sacrificing the natural expansion. He's building shield batteries in the main base. He's just trying to stay in this game against the 17 drones of Solar, and Solar giving a nod to that. He's starting drones back at home, slowly trickling some out. But there still is knockout potential here for Solar. He might be able to push up that ramp and get her out of this game, because really the only production hero's got is this.
I don't see Solo pushing up this ramp just because of the Void Rays. I mean, the biles, oh my god, they do graze the army. But I mean, what's the answer to the Void Rays? The Queen's kind of support, they're too far behind. Like, Ravagers they're being focused down.
Off is herO, as the Queens are still on the ramp, dishing out some damage.
Yeah, he's going to get 1, 2, 3. He's going to get all 4 Ravagers.
So
and the
now
Queens.
It's just the roaches. They're going to try to go around and try to kill off as many probes as possible, since he can't really kill these Void Rays.
Yeah, there's a pulsar beam. It does focus on the roaches. There's 2 roaches left. The Queens get surrounded, and Solar overextends. He should not have gone up this ramp. GG gets called, and the all-in fails.
Wow, herO actually defending that with no intel that was coming until the last possible second.
I thought we might have another Queen being added in. I thought it might be a bit of a slower push up the ramp there by Solar, given that he took
GG. GG, well played. As you mentioned, like Solar, there was no way for him to push up that ramp, so I was shocked that he went for it. I was shocked that he pushed up the ramp just because there were 2 Void Rays with a bunch of batteries, and yes, technically there's anti-air in those Queens, but they are so slow off of creep. They could not support. They could not move in, so the Roach Ravager pushed too far forward. It got engaged ahead of time. Ravagers went down first, and by the time the Queens arrived, the Ravagers had already been killed, right? The Ravagers are already gone. The Roach is already being focused on as well. So Solar, he just ran out of steam, ran out of army. I mean, Solar did well when it comes to breaking that natural base, but I do think that he got a little bit too greedy there, pushing up the ramp. As Stade is alluding to, he's like, oh, I thought it was going to be a bit of a slower approach, a slower push. That would have had potentially more success. It's just difficult because the moment that you try to slow things down, that gives the opportunity for someone like herO for a counterattack, for example, to move out with the Void Rays. And if you push up the ramp, you can always just recall, right? And always just recall back home. So like things can get a little bit more awkward because of the mobility of the Stargate army and the Stargate units. So it was a really rough position there for Solar, and GG. It was a really cool build. It was a really cool build, but GG.
That's for sure. That was a very map-specific build. I'd very much be surprised if we see that one yet again. But we're going to be going into Rorschach as our next map. It's going to be map number 2. Seeing if Solar can maybe bring out some more cheeky stuff.
Onion, he got all of the StarCraft 2 gaming. True.
2-0 start to the series.
All right, after a fast game number 1, herO spawning down here in the bottom right of Rorschach as the blue Protoss. Solar in the bottom left as the red Zerg.
How about that? There we go.
I still can't get over the previous game. I mean, what a unique build.
Yeah.
Kind of exploiting the high yield Vespian gas. It
was
didn't
cool.
quite work out there for Solar in the end. But I would love to see a couple more games like that, if not in the RSL, then perhaps in the GSL or in some of their online tournaments, because I haven't seen too many of them. And I feel like we didn't get to the bottom of the potential for a build like that one.
Yeah,
I think there
I would actually I would agree with Stade here in the sense that I feel like that build that Solo went for has potential, but I think the biggest issue with it is that it only has potential because the map is new. Once players get more accustomed to the idea of this being a possibility, they're going to be so much faster at checking and scouting, right? We saw the same thing on maps that have like closer gold bases. Very commonly, like we'd often see them be used early on, and then players got used to scouting, used to checking, used to punishing, and then that kind of died down. So I do think early on in the season, like there's potential for shenanigans like that, and may as well make use of that. But as the season progresses, as players get more used to these maps and more used to the meta, then that kind of like dies down over time. Which is one of the reasons why fresh map pools are so important, because they allow for things like that. They allow for some new, obscure, and fun builds that might not have the longest lifespan. But that's also why, like, you know, the maps can at times get stale over time, and why you want to refresh and rejuvenate that map pool as well.
Like,
yeah,
the
that's
Stargate
also
being thrown
a
down.
possibility, yeah.
Say if the Protoss is like prioritizing minerals at home instead of gas and going for a relatively fast probe scout, the probe scout might be pretty confusing. You know, you would go into the main base of the Zerg, you would see no gas, but you would see a pool and you would see no hatchery. And then you're likely going to go on the map and try and find out what's going on. You wouldn't actually catch wind that it's going to be a roach warren because the gas timing window has basically been missed, right?
It looks like they're still discussing the build itself.
Had herO gone for that sort of opening, maybe the Stargate would be a little bit delayed. But in any case, herO taking game number 1. Now we're going to game number 2. Cybernetic score is finished here for herO. It's a less greedy opening from herO since he did go for the probe scout, but we still have a very quick Stargate coming in. Let's see where this game's going to take us.
Yeah, double Adept going to be coming out, so it's going to be a bit aggressive.
As I mentioned so far today, that open out a herO. Welcome to Rorschach. Rorschach has a short rush distance by ground. So short rush distance by ground has a healing pad in the center, has the gold base on the top side, and has hybrid bases on the south side as well. So there's a lot of unique features about the map itself, and typically this map favors aggression. It favors aggression, so we're expecting, obviously not the same build as last game, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see an all-in again.
Sneaky himself, so it's a little bit difficult to know exactly where these Adepts are going to be coming from. Maybe you're going to be able to skip past.
Oh, a Void Ray opener. Okay.
Clearing out the map for everything, and even going for Void Ray after this as well. So really trying to make sure he denies as much vision with these Adepts and the Void Ray.
Oh, he's going for the hybrid expansion. He's crazy. they're all crazy. Now, specifically, this base on Rorschach is very isolated. Like he's asking to be all in.
Oh, did they?
Season, but I can't remember. I remember someone doing. I think Rogue did this actually. I think Rogue tried to take that base and did some like early like Zergling all in or something like that, and it didn't work. But it was an interesting thing to try to bring out, because again, it does have these extra gold minerals. It's this interesting half base. You don't ever see a base like this. I feel like this is a very unique feature to this map, that we have a half gold, half regular mineral base. So
yes, we call that a hybrid expansion, which is not the first time we've seen it, by the way. It's been around for a while.
Find it out pretty early. So gigs up for.
If you remember, hybrid bases also featured on washouts. True.
So let's see what Solar does to react.
I'm not sure how much the mineral income is of a typical gold base.
Oh, that is at
Obviously,
410 layer timing, so very early layer here out of Solar. herO going for a bit of an earlier Forge and Twilight Council, walling up and walling up.
The income is still substantial, and you're feeling good. But this one, because of the fact that it has 4 gold and 4
He fully
minerals,
walls.
and look at this. He full walls in this gigantic ramp.
That is
and
crazy.
he can recall probes either from the natural expansion or the main base to get in here.
There's
and
a mineral
saturate
wall.
this.
Sorry, mineral path, right?
Oh, this is a very cool opening coming in by herO.
Yeah, so bearing in mind he doesn't have to recall, there is a mineral path towards that base.
I do like this. This is very
This
cool.
is awesome.
As you can see.
Is he gonna, how? Oh, there's a worker only path. That's right.
Yeah, now they just realized.
Again,
Oh, is there?
yeah, there is right above the gases.
Oh my God, we're all done.
No, that's.
I also didn't even know that was there.
I've
That's
only
awesome.
casted so many games here.
Yeah,
on
I
Rorschach,
literally didn't even know that was there. It's hilarious.
Same age to my head. It's all good.
Cool.
So
Well, that
triple
makes it
void
even
though.
easier to go
Triple
for
void
that.
moving
Yeah,
up.
that's very nice. Doesn't even have to waste the recall energy.
All right, so it's gonna be 4 more gateways being built right now by herO.
3
Yo,
void
are we
rays.
going full 2020? Are we just gonna focus on the base? No shot.
No way he
It's
just
just
kills
so-
this.
You never see something like this. There's no transfuse available. Of course, the Spore Crawler and the 2 Queens are going to force herO to get
Ooh,
away.
Spore goes down. Saves the base, thankfully.
Killing a Spore is quite nice, dude. Obviously makes it much more easy to go back and forth with the Void Rays or potential Oracles as well. Lots of Lings trying
So
to
very
dive
quick
down
reaction there by
this
Solar
wall.
to unburrow and reborrow that Spore to be able to buy time, right? Sure, he didn't kill a Void Ray, but he saved the hatchery.
herO supply block. That's why he can't warp in or defend with
Oh,
this at
that's
all. He's been at
hilarious.
76 out of 77 for a little while now.
Protoss moment.
It's all right. We're
so
throwing down
funny.
like 4 or 5 pylons right now. Everything's gonna be fine.
That's so funny.
Oh.
Mutas as well coming up from Solar on the back end here. So
Ooh,
it's going
yeah,
to be
Spire into
a
Mutas.
pretty, I feel like unexpected tech coming out.
So
as herO
I've been
forces
distracted
to
by
be
what herO is doing, and herO by rushing into this hybrid expansion is going to have a boosted economy. Charge is on the way, +1 is on the way. I believe herO wants to try to hit with his own charge timing attack and be hyper committed and hyper aggressive. But Mutas are on the horizon, and we'll see who hits first.
Taking his 3rd Vespene Geyser. So herO,
Here comes 7
not a lot of
Mutas.
gas to the bank. Charge is done, but Blink has not yet started. There's only Void Rays, no Phoenix. And Blink only just now begun, so it's going to be pretty tricky for herO to try and deal.
Basically, herO is going for an all-in, and Soul's going to have Mutas, but the DPS rate of the Mutas is going to be quite low. Can he pull this off?
The damage here from the Zealots. The Mutas going to be very slow at actually cleaning this up. So
Shout out to the Observer. The Observer does point out it's a 10-gate 3-base all-in.
Down instead, going for the Roaches first. It's a logjam here.
Breaks down the wall.
And the natural expansion, and now the Mutas connecting with
He's
the
getting
Void
some of the
Rays, able to
queens.
clean both of them up. The problem is, there's just so many Zealots, Gemini.
Yeah, that is a lot of charge slots. Some of them
Oh
are
my
weakened,
God.
and the micro is still pretty decent from Solar, keeping some of these queens alive and making sure
Yeah,
that they can transfuse
nice kiting.
each other
Wow.
to try and body block. for
Very
as long
nice
as possible.
kiting out of
That
Solar.
wall really did help to make sure that those can stay alive for as long as possible as well. A couple more getting into the main base. We'll be able to kill just a few drones, but that is a nice defense
And that's it.
from Solar. And
I mean, the herO, he's got a
so
second
much
wave, but
supply
now it's even worse here. herO, he's running out of steam. That's all he had. The all-in fails.
with the Roaches and the Mutas, and now what does herO have to defend?
Just one shield battery.
I
and a
say
Phoenix.
nothing.
Two Phoenix here
He has
now for
nothing.
the third
He's got
base.
two. He's got 2 Phoenixes.
Expansion here for herO. He's going to be trying to find another target. Nice micro there by Solar, getting some damage on the Phoenix. Is the main base of herO defended? The Muta's already taken down.
So we have the Maynard soundboard.
And
Nothing.
I think these Mutas eventually are going to get cleaned up. Solar is already focused entirely on the Roach switch.
And with that, this third base is going to go down. Like, there's no saving the third. We mentioned earlier, this base is just very isolated. It's very isolated. It's very exposed. It's so difficult to defend.
Snipe like that one, and I think there just might be too many Roaches and Ravagers here, Gemini.
Denies the warp
This
in.
is looking really bad for herO. The warp in also getting canceled as the pylon gets killed off. There's really nothing here for herO to defend against this. He's just desperately trying to lift up a couple Ravagers with just 3 Phoenixes, and there's still the Mutas lurking around as well. All the probes getting killed off at this half gold base. Yeah, this is just looking absolutely cooked for herO right now. This is a very good response from Solar.
It's looking cooked, Pappy. True, true.
For a bit of a risky play
God damn it,
himself, such a
Gemini.
fast Spire in general, but it definitely did pay off in
Not wrong
great,
there.
great amount right here. I mean, herO is he's dead. Let's be honest with you. Let's not do the caster moment where it's like, oh, maybe he can find his way back here. But no, this is looking pretty bad for him, man.
Well, maybe Gemini, maybe herO can fight his way back here. He's got a lot of Zealots and Stalkers. No, it's
Yo, State is huffing just an insane amount of copium right now. Oh my god. Stay, put the copium down, buddy. Put it down.
I mean,
It's too much.
Doing the play-by-play, John.
Don't OD,
Boy,
Pappy,
boy.
don't OD.
If he just lifts up, if he could just lift up a few more roaches and just maybe, oh, if I could just micro a little bit harder. Ah, no, it's not.
I mean, it is excellent control here by herO, and he is staying alive in the natural expansion. The problem is that the writing's kind of on the wall right now with 38 probes
If I could
versus
just get a
70
few more
drones.
weapons, oh, come on, it's like a little bit more energy on the battery. I can do it.
Yeah, the 4 bases for Solar to the 2 expansions here from herO. Even if herO is able to get on the map and secure a 3rd base, he's not going to have any answer to the follow-up coming in by herO. There's so many Hydras on the field now. herO knows it. GG is called, and we're all tied up 1-1.
GG, well played. With that, a fun fact, by the way, in regards to this series, both games, the all-in has failed. We saw a really fun, really interesting, really quirky build from Solar in Game 1, and really fun, interesting, quirky build from herO in Game 2. And what we're learning about this series is that the creativity is being punished. With Solar rushing into the high-yield gas base to go for the Roach all-in, that failing. With herO rushing into the hybrid gold base to go into a 10-gate charge all-in, and that failing as well. But GG, well played. Regardless, I appreciate that both players are being creative and both players are being very exploratory regarding the maps themselves. I appreciate it. It's not working. It's not working for anyone, but I appreciate it nonetheless. That they're willing to explore a little bit more and willing to branch out in both Game 1 and Game 2. I appreciate it.
It's like not actually hitting it before anything really happens. Like he's able to get that many roaches, able to get that many mutas out before a charge lot all in happens. It's like, well, what's the purpose of it here? I guess it's just not quite hitting fast enough. I don't know.
Yeah, I would have liked to seen some blink play behind that, but in any case, guys, I want to give a big shout out to our supporters here on Patreon. And if you're not yet a supporter on Patreon, we invite you.
They could have been anything behind it, and it would not have been enough, unfortunately, just because of how committed herO was to the 10-gate all-in, because of the lack of gas as well, the lack of follow-up. So whether it would have been Phoenix behind it or Blinkstalkers behind it, it would not have mattered in regards to just the lack of damage that was dealt there by herO. I think it's important to emphasize that the charge all-in didn't do any economic damage, did kill a couple of queens, did break into the natural, but remember, Solar did an amazing job at kiting back, at reducing surface area and minimizing losses against the charge all-in, which is why the counterattack hit so hard. So regardless, GG well played. With that, we're going to be going on a short break. We'll be back soon with our next game. See you soon.
No, okay, so he didn't really lose a lot. I mean, you're kind of fine training your army. He kept going.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. We have returned with the RSL Survival StarCraft League 2026 Season 5 Playoffs Day Number 4 co-stream. We're currently mid-series. We're mid-series here with herO versus Solar. So far, we're tied up 1-1, but so far, it's been a very short series. Non-stop all-ins. Non-stop all-ins from both players, which is to be expected in the current meta, to be fair. But so far, the all-ins have been failing. But once again, as I reiterated, just to reiterate, I do appreciate that the all-ins, or the builds that we've been seeing, have been very catered towards the maps themselves. But now we're going to be going back to basics here, in a sense. Let's go back in. Let's jump on into Game 3. We're going to be loading into Necropolis.
Yeah, and I would like to have a longer game between these two, but I wouldn't mind if it wasn't a standard one.
They're talking about macro? In 2026 StarCraft, they're crazy, bro. They're crazy. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Necropolis, we have the South Korean Zerg player. The red Zerg, it is Solar. And in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have representing T1. It is herO. The South Korean Protoss. Let's go. Now, to be fair, when it comes to potentially seeing a longer game, there's a good chance of that happening here in Necropolis. Very quickly discuss the map before we get into our lovely co-stream and our casters as well. This map is a lot more defensive. There's a ramp coming to the natural, so because of that, your 2-base setup is very defendable, and your 3rd base is on the high ground, and likewise, we have minimal attack entrances into the 3rd as well. I will say that the area on the low ground here that you can see before you, in between the 3rd and the natural, is abusable. That is true. So you can try to assault and try to outposition your opponent. So there are some aggressive options, but as opposed to map 1 and map 2, I would say that this map has less aggressive features, and we might see some mid-game play. That's a big maybe, though. We mentioned this previously, but right now in the meta, it is very common to be hyper-aggressive, and very rarely do you see someone like Solar embrace a longer and later game. ZVP right now is in a game state where most, if not all, Zerg players are trying to end the game early. I say most, if not all, because obviously there's one exception, that is herO. Like herO, he does embrace the late game, he does embrace a different kind of mantra and different kind of approach. But when it comes to all the other Zerg players, especially the Korean Zerg players, so think Shin, Solar, and Rogue, they're all hyper aggressive. So we'll keep an eye on Solar. So far, standard openers, but we're looking for big signs of tech. So Lair first, gas timings, Roach Warren first, Evo Chamber first. Waiting to see how Solar wants to approach this.
Styles, I feel like, just has its own flair to them. It's always like a game you can watch and you're just like, okay, this is a herO game. Like, this is the way he does it, just the amount of oracles he might make.
herO, likewise, what makes him scary and what makes him the best Protoss player in the world is that he can be very dynamic. He can play standard, he can play macro, or he can be also hyper aggressive, which we saw last game, right? He went for a big 3-base all-in with 10 gateways. It failed, but shows us that he's willing to get down and dirty as well.
It really kind of varies between game to game, so we'll see how aggressive he wants to be with everything.
And herO opting to go for the Adept first in this game. We'll see if he follows up with another Adept in the Stargate behind it. And it's going to be a Stalker. herO's been favoring this quite a bit recently. Oh, cancels it. He's juking me right now. I can't remember if it was herO or Classic, but somebody has been going Adept into Stalker quite recently, early on, just because I think that, you know, with the sport change and also with Zerg players simply just getting better with the sport timings and with their queen movements, Oracles, it feels like, at least in this season of the RSL and the recent season of the GSLs, they're not getting quite as much damage done in the early game as you would typically expect to see. And so oftentimes, Zerg or Protoss players, they're pivoting instead to go into a pretty fast Stalker, and they just use the Oracle to get vision of any Overlords that might be on the map so that they can pick them off. But here on Acropolis, of course, there is that dead airspace by the next.
So I'll be like, you know what, State, that's great and all that you're talking about Stalker openers, but that's not what we're seeing this game. And we also have a Void Ray first, which is more worth bringing up. So early Stargate opener into a Void Ray once again out of herO. This is a lot more unorthodox. Last game we saw this and it led into a 3-base all-in. The goal of the Void Ray is to hunt down Overlords. Now again, last game this Void Ray opener did lead into a 3-base all-in with 10 gateways, but it doesn't have to lead into an all-in, but it can. Like, that's what's scary about a Void Ray, is that it makes it more difficult for the Zerg player to scan and to respond. So once again, a very unique opener here by herO, prioritizing, minimizing, or prioritizing just the denial of vision. Meanwhile, Solar, look at his tech, Evo Chamber first. That's a sign of plus on melee. That is a sign of a standard build, of a more mid-game build.
And then once he finally combs the map of any of these Destroy Overlords, then he'll go back to the natural, then he can finally take that one down to the pocket.
It's a very smart way to go about it. Of course, my dumb Protoss brain, I just look at the first Overlord right in front of my natural. I'm like, God, I gotta kill this thing right now! It's gonna like see what I'm doing! It's gonna see my totally normal build, oh my God!
What was the psychological experiment they did, like, with children and candy? It's just like, if you don't eat this candy now, we'll give you more candy in 5 minutes. And Gemini's just like, I see a Twix, I am eating it.
Give that to me, chocolate in my mouth right now. God damn it, give it to me. No, I see that Overlord, I pounce, man. I don't want to lose that thing. It's gonna find a
behind this cover, Twilight Council and Twilight Council and Forge. Follow up here, double Oracle, denying vision, denying scouting. It's still a little bit in the air whether this is going to be a Blink-based follow-up or charge. I'm leaning towards Blink, but eyes are going to be on herO. Meanwhile, Solo went for plus on melee, which is standard. That's why we mentioned the early Evo Chamber, plus on melee into Ling Hydra. The Baliness is a bit of a twist, though.
That we're trying to guard that tower on the right-hand side. So pretty nice here. Pretty nice start here for herO as he's going out into Templar Tech, adding in more gateways, charge and blink, or charge and blink, excuse me, charge and plus one ground weapons getting started.
Doing double Twilight.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of StarCraft casting recently, Gemini. I'm a little bit more scatterbrained than I usually am.
It all happens to the best of the state. Anyways, double Oracle coming on back in, trying to see what they can find. We'll just kind of...
It's okay, Pappy. It's okay. There has been a lot of StarCraft going on. There has been.
You know, drones moving around, sees the lair being morphed as well, so nothing crazy going on there. And we'll also, I believe, see no Roach Warren, and does see the Baneling Nest and that upgrading Evo Chamber. So should know this is going to be a Roachless game for now, as a couple of Adepts will try to find their way into the third base, focus down a few of those drones, and do a pretty good job of that, killing off 7, probably even 8 if it could just get this last...
the transfuse!
Oh my God, Solar's sick.
He's crazy.
Nice little Adapter has still, though, but 7 is, not exactly what you want to be losing to that.
Yeah, nice move there by herO, even coming with the Oracles now into the
Jesus,
main base.
10 drones in total.
A little bit of the damage from
That's
the
insane.
Crawler, pick off some more drones that can
so Solar's being crippled. This is where I have to push back against what Stay was saying. How he was discussing about how, like, oh no, recently we've been seeing a little like Stalker-based openers, and you make less Oracles because players have been getting better at defending. I mean, Solar's still one of the best Zerg players in the world, and still 10 drones go down, critical damage, and Solar's going for what? A Bane Bust. Look at the production tab. We have 20 Lings in production. Here comes the Bane bus. Solar, he's going for his own timing, he's going for his own borderline all-in. His drone count is very low. He's down 20 workers, but he busts through the front door. He breaks in.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know that herO's got some wonky walls, and that is a pylon in the wall as well. Going to take much less banelings than normal to be able to kill that off. So
Banelings roll into the main base, they roll into the mineral line. Links at the same time they hit the third base. We have links in every single expansion. Yeah, links in all the bases. The banelings, oh no, they connects. He connects, Pappy. 37.
38 probes in total.
38.
As the Nexus also tries to get targeted.
Can we get more?
And more lings ransack the third.
Oh my
These are effectively
god.
the last probes that herO has in this game with some nice mineral micro there. herO is able to pick up the Zerglings. He's able to retain a count of 32 probes in total. I think they are literally all at that third base. It's so overpopulated right now. He's got to transfer back to the natural expansion, but what a well-timed attack by Solar, just hitting at the moment of weakness right before Storm is done, right before herO has any Templar or any Archons, I should say, on the board. Picking off, what, 2 full bases
Kind of.
worth of probes.
So
And herO also trading out quite a bit of army.
I wouldn't be surprised, by the way, because remember, we spoke about it earlier, how the Baneliness from Solo was very abnormal. We were like, oh, the Baneliness, we're getting a little bit spicy here. Like, there's a bit of a twist. That was the verbiage that we used, a bit of a twist to Solo's build. And now we see why. Again, you typically don't get a Baneliness in ZVP, not this early on. Now we see the purpose of it was for the Bane bus. I believe the Baneliness was a reaction to the Void Ray. How does that make sense? Because of the Void Ray opener, there were less oracles. Because there are less oracles, there's less vision. Because there's less vision, there's a lower chance that herO sees the Bane bus coming, and herO didn't see it. He didn't see the Bane bus coming. He didn't see it at all. He was woefully underprepared, and that's why it dealt so much damage. Stay was praising like the timing of it. I would push back against that, and more obviously the big thing was the fact that it was hidden, the fact that herO didn't know what was going on, and then bam, you know, Bane bus hits the natural base, and I mean that's game-ending damage, right? That's been game-ending damage. Here he's limping along. Yes, here he is building up an army, and he's got Archons and High Templar and Storm, but the size of the army here is very, very small for herO, and Solar's going for a second wave. Look at the drone count. Solar is not droning. He's cutting workers at 69. Nice. He could drone up further, up to 4 base saturation and tech up into Hive. He's not. He's staying with a layer tech army instead.
He's an unconventional player. He's thinking about attacking right now, so he's actually going to meet the army of Solar right in front of the third base.
And again, the hero's all in. Ah, not again, the Lings. They bust into the Bane. The Banelings. Oh my god.
Opening there at the natural.
That's a lot of Zealots just getting eaten by those Banelings. It's not the best connections there from the Protoss perspective. It's, of course, these Lings still causing havoc in the main base. 6 more probes getting killed off. More Warpins being forced to be going on over there as well. But herO is going to march across the map. He thinks he does have some sort of an opportunity with a good amount of storms, but potentially maybe just baiting out some units here, trying to find the best spot to go. I mean,
they're phrasing it like, oh, you know, he thinks like this is a good time. He's like, no, herO needs to do something. Like herO, if he backs off, he's dead. Like he has to try to end the game with what he has, because the longer this game goes on, the better and better it becomes for Solar. To the point where even at this point, like, you know, you could argue that we're huffing a bit of copium, right? Like Solar's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. But here he has to try. He has to try with this army. He's got to hope and pray that he can land those storms. It's all or nothing for herO.
He can't even try and hunker down on 3 bases and craft basically a perfect army with the resources that he has left at his disposal. Instead, he thinks that he needs to attack in this moment, and we'll see. The army supply of Solar is
nice storms.
massive, but those storms really good at just covering the entire surface area that Solar is
the
trying to set up
surround.
more concave with.
He's coming from behind.
Absolutely low
Solar.
on HP, but the storms are starting to dissipate. There's maybe only 2 left.
Banelings right on top of absolutely everything. What are you going to do as herO in this position? You can see him smiling as well on the webcam. Knows the situation he's in right now. Excellent setup from Solar. Sure, he took a couple, you know, storms to the face in the initial defense, but that just was wasting those energies basically.
herO throws down a fleet peak. That's crazy.
And now everything is looking really bad.
Here's army gets swallowed up. I guess time for Sky Toss. Throws down the fleet beacon, throws in the Stargate. Again, at this point, herO, the one chance he has is to turtle up. The one chance herO has, I should say, is that Solar leaves him alone.
So long now. herO is able to nearly remax. You can see the income advantage right there. It's been solidly maybe 1,000 minerals or 1,000 resources in total above herO for maybe 4 or 5 minutes now. And Solar's economy just absolutely pumping. And now it seems like herO is opting to go for the more conservative defensive option. He's throwing down a fleet beacon. He's potentially going to be starting a mothership pretty soon. But I'm not sure Solar is going to want to give him that kind of time.
Oh. Jesus.
Yeah, absolutely not. It doesn't even look like herO has the gas to make a mothership in the first place. He's just still spending
So again, Solar did not get an infestation bit. He does not have a hive. Solar staying with lair tech because he knows he can kill, right? He's just going for it. Nice storms though.
Solar's getting bungled up here on these corners, taking a lot of damage to these storms. Thankfully, we'll be able to kill off that fourth base, get a cancel on that. Mothership does get started. There's only going to be a few storms in this defense at the moment. I'm not sure if there's a recharge ready or not to get some more out. But there's honestly still a decent amount here overall. You could morph in some of these Archons as well, but yeah, no, Solar I think has just got it totally fine at that point. herO doesn't want to go any further. Yeah, I mean, a pretty nice game overall from Solar. What even happened at the beginning of that game? I actually totally forgot what that interaction was.
GG, well played. As a reminder, Solar, I believe, I could be mistaken, but I believe that Solar's build was a reaction, sorry, the Baneliness was a reaction to the Void Ray opener. I could be mistaken, I have to like double check the timings, but Solar went for a standard opener, hatch gas pool, into a third base, into an Evo chamber, then he threw down that Baneliness, which did go unscouted, and with that he was able to build up for his Bane bust. herO went Void Ray first. herO, he was hunting down Overlords, who was being annoying, yes, but herO, he missed the scout. He failed to see the all-in, he didn't see the Bane bust, and it did crippling damage. It was, what, 39 probes going down to the Bane bust. It was insane damage, and that was game. Then obviously the game lasted longer from there, but herO, he was limping along, like he was barely standing, and he had that one storm push in him, and he fought well with it. Like, he traded very efficiently. He just didn't have the economy to sustain himself, and he couldn't reinforce the army, and he was quite limited in the forces that he had available. GG, well played.
Option did not pay off for him, but really there isn't a winning choice there. You're hoping that Solar makes some kind of mistake.
Yeah, you have to get some crazy mistakes from the opponent. You got to take some insane risks. So herO trying to go for the risk, attacking out, just didn't work out for him. Of course, his army wasn't built for it. But anyways, Celestial Enclave is going to be our next map. Let's get loaded on into that to see if Solar can close this one out with a 3-1, or if herO is going to bring us to a game number 5.
I think the better question is, do we end up in a mid game, in a mid macro game? Do we end up with like a 4-base setup versus 4-base setup? Do we? I think we know the answer. It's very low, but we are loading into Celestial Enclave. Now, we said this last time we casted Solar. I'm shocked that this map made it through the vetoes. Welcome to one of the most defensive maps in the map pool. It is very difficult to be the aggressing player and to break a player early on and deny bases and break their defensive setup. It is insanely difficult. We saw Solar attempt to be aggressive on this map against Classic and GSL, and Solar failed. Like, Solar, he couldn't. He just could not break through. He could not crack that shell. And with that, it'll just... sorry, I say Classic. I think it was... Hold on. Someone else.
And just try to react to what Solar is doing. The same way that
but it was in GSL, and with that he did fail to do so, or I might even be thinking of RSL, to be fair. Like, it's just been... it all blends together, Pat. It all blends together.
I think the same approach would be advisable here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's kind of
yes, it was Solar versus Classic. Okay. I wasn't certain.
extremely aggressive. herO was able to batter down Shin with some great play.
But again, Solar failed to do so, so we'll see if he does change his approach here. Again, so I spoke about how defensive this map is, but we have a ramp coming into the high ground at the natural base, so we have a very secure natural, and you have a pocket expansion as well, and you have no attack path into those 3 bases except for the natural attack path or the rocks, which means you can situate your army in one location to defend 4 bases, as you can expand right outside of the natural and park your army there, and there's no way for your opponent to run by or counterattack except for that one location, or if they knock down the rocks, which you should have your eyes on regardless. So very, very limited attack paths, very limited harassment options. Because of that, we do often see Nidus all-ins or Drop Lord based all-ins or Mutaplay. You got to be creative if you want to be aggressive on this map, otherwise you can't be aggressive.
Classic now up 2-1 here versus herO. And he's doing it on the back of aggressive plays. I think that is just kind of where the Zerg race is at in this matchup. You have to be the aggressor here as Zerg, because a Protoss player like herO or Classic, if they're able to navigate into a 4 or 5 base situation, they're not necessarily going for an exhaust play. They're not trying to mine out or wait until the entire map is mined out. But the armies that players like this can construct, like herO and Classic can construct, they are world eaters. I mean, you go up to 200 supply, and it's nothing but Archons, Templar, Mothership, Tempest. There is no chaff. And it's very hard for Zerg, even with a full Remax available in the bank, to actually deal with an army like that. So for Solar, I don't think that he should change anything moving forward. Even if he loses this game on the back of aggression, you got to go back to the aggression again in a game number 5, because that is your path to victory.
Oracle coming out first here for herO, not going for that Void Ray first.
I always find it funny when one caster like goes on a big like tirade about like a certain aspect of the game or about anything, and the other guy's like, anyway. God damn it. God damn it.
Get them relatively early at just kind of the standard time, but if you saw the Void Ray coming out, you could
Gemini.
with keeping those spores being made for a little bit longer. But
what I will say though is, I mean, what State said is correct, but that's been the case for quite some time. And that isn't just the case with EVP; it's the case with TVP as well. Like right now in the current meta, both Terran and Zerg players want to avoid longer and later games. That's why we've been seeing almost purely all-ins in ZVP and TVP. It is a problem, it is an issue, and we're hoping that the upcoming patch will help resolve, will help address this, but we'll see. We'll see. So now, once again, Evo Chamber opener out of Solar should be into +1 melee.
+1 melee style here versus herO. We have to be very careful with an approach like that one, because if herO catches wind that Solar is just playing for the Lingbane style and decides to go for a more conservative game, you know, him throwing down a lot of static defense, getting early Archons, and then adding in the Storm, it can be hard with the Lingbaneling to actually get damage done.
It's in the chat. Longer game. It's greater than 3 minutes, probably. True, true.
Actually diving past those 3 queens, picking up some drones. That's a good pickoff for him.
Yeah, love it whenever you're able to find those little weaknesses there in the Zerg's defense. Of course, they're trying to cut corners as much as possible, maybe not getting a spore in one of the bases as the queens are just going to be sitting there. So sometimes you can get a nice drive by.
Behind this, for the first time this series, it's going to be a blink-based open out of herO, which we appreciate. This is much more standard, much more defensive, which makes sense coming into Celestial Enclave.
PvZ in this day and age, and something that herO is very adept at doing. I mean, he honestly kind of invented this style almost, or just really revolutionized.
+1 melee into a safety into a safety Roach Warren. Interesting. I'm not convinced the Soul is going to invest into Roaches, but he is getting it nonetheless.
And it's been something that's been very strong over the years, so we'll be going into that one this time as he just tries to find a couple more drones with the Oracles and doing a pretty good job of it.
2 more gases getting taken now by herO, and keep in mind that here on Celestial Enclave, herO can go for the pocket expansion should he want to, and not really expand his...
So Stay pointing out the gases tells us that herO is going to take up into splash damage, whether it's Colossus or Storm, one of those tools on the horizon.
He is adding in additional gateways, so there is some more aggressive infrastructure, as we might have a drop Overlord getting morphed in here for Solar. It certainly seems like he is setting up for this. But I think if herO wants to try and get damage done with the Blink, he might need at least 1 more Oracle, because a healthy number of +1 links is one of the answers to the style that herO is potentially going for here, and unless you have a lot of energy on these Oracles to assist, it can be. And
now we see why there was the Roach Warren. I was like, I'm not convinced that we're going to be making any Roaches, and we're not. It's going to be Spire. So +1 melee into mutas. The reason why you have the Roaches is in case herO is going to be hyper aggressive, you have access to Roaches to buy time and to buffer.
And the units are already out on the field for herO as well. The timing of this drop is hitting perfectly, and even a forward blink as well, as herO is trying to go aggressive at this point in time. And herO maybe wasn't, he did actually see it on the mini-map. It looked like for a second he wasn't actually aware, but is fully aware that this drop
is coming. Blinking across the map.
To warp in back at home and be able to deal with this. Meanwhile, he is blinking across the cavern over on the right-hand side. Will start to attack this base and will be able to just kill it off very quickly. The Stalkers able to DPS that down very quickly.
Yeah, nice play there by herO. Just getting a freebie on the hatchery. Might lose 1 or 2 Stalkers in total, but a worthwhile trade for our
doesn't lose any.
Player in Solar. He's going to be double expanding now, taking the top left.
So here he defends against the Ling drop. He attacks across the map. He kills the pocket expansion, and very nice moves out of herO. And instead of going into more splash damage, which he assumed because of the gases, he's doubling down on a gateway composition. He gets caught. No, he gets caught. Oh my god.
Some fortuitous, some fortunate positioning here for herO with all these Lings trying to find some surface area on this.
Yeah, catching out 3 Stalkers at the same time. herO keeps pushing, and the scary thing for Solar is that he's spending all of his money on mutas, and that's not going to help too much in the defense here.
I mean, herO,
it's going to be a very tight hold.
Any win that this is happening, there's just absolutely no idea. He's got a cannon randomly in his 3rd base, kind of, but he doesn't look like he's super prepared for this at all. I mean,
he doesn't know.
The Adepts are going to try to come on in here. They will actually get the scout on the mutas coming out. That's huge for him to make sure he gets that information. He's being aggressive with the Stalkers as well, so it's killed off one of these.
Okay, he backs up. He backs up, he retreats. Phoenix production has begun.
Immediately in the production tab, extra cannons also getting morphed on in. We might have to go into Phoenix range with this fleet beacon finishing up, as well as a second Stargate gets placed down. This is going to be really tough for herO. He's got to be very clinical in this defense.
Some Stonkers get recalled there from the front lines, and unfortunately the Oracles actually
how the Stalkers, they get caught out.
The Mute is able to isolate a ton of these Stalkers as well as these Zerglings. I think with one more blink, although it is on cooldown right now.
Yeah, heavy losses there for herO.
Them, but at the cost of the Oracles, at the cost of I think at least one Phoenix, and that was a very expensive trade for our Protoss player. Solar now focus firing another Phoenix. He's trying to keep that count under control for as long as possible. Momentum growing right now for our Zerg player as Solar takes another base, the central expansion.
Yeah, Ling's moving over to the right-hand side as well, trying to see if they can get anything done on the right side on that third base, but for now we'll just kind of move back as the Mutas continue to shark around. Trying to get these Stalkers out of position is the play here for Solar, of course. The Phoenixes will be low in number as he was able to kill off quite a few of those, even going to be going into Corruptors. We saw Shin doing this yesterday to great success against Classic, so the Muta Corruptor style fully here in this match as well as the Mutas continue to pull these Stalkers left and right.
Double Phoenix production here for herO's. Phoenix range is nearing completion. About 15 seconds left on that. And for herO, he's just going to try and hunker down and hold these 4 bases that he's got with the pocket expansion now finishing up. The map control is firmly on the side of Solar, and it's going to be really hard to unseat that moving forward. It's all about the defense here for herO.
Yeah, Blink is over here as well for these Stalkers, and we also have the Phoenix range finished up for those Phoenixes, so that's going to be really key to be able to defend against.
Yeah, so far here he is keeping up, he is somewhat holding on, but again, Solar's about to max. He's about to max out, some Mutas they do distract here at the pocket expansion. At the same time, Lings they, oh, actually hero's in position on the right hand side. No, the Lings they do slip in, but they slip out. Where are we going?
Solar doesn't sure what
where are we going,
there, but the Lings will get on in, trying to kill off that fleet beacon, won't be able to do so. There's plenty of units here to defend, so herO's actually stabilizing pretty okay. I mean, the Phoenix range is online, and there's quite a few numbers.
It's one of those things where Solar, he's close to maxing out, but it doesn't matter. He fails to break any expansion. He's distracting, that is true, but herO's keeping up with the movement. He's keeping up with the aggression, and herO is slowly catching up in supply here. This is where the soup does lie, right? Solar, he's at 180, and he can soon max out. It doesn't matter if he can't make use of the army. Again, herO has the advantage of cannons, battery, Sim City. herO so far is turtling well.
It's not like Solar can dive and just take the fight to herO. herO's economy has been too big. He's been able to build a very healthy stock.
And this shows what we said at the very beginning of the game. Remember what we said at the very beginning here at Celestial Enclave. It is very easy to turtle up on 4 bases. And you can see, herO, these are the 4 bases that we spoke about. You have the main, the natural, the pocket, and the base on the right-hand side. Bailings do waddle in, but here he does pull away in time.
Able to block that for the most part, only losing, okay, never mind. 9 probes is
9
actually a lot.
probes. 10. Oh, no, he gets in.
Unfortunately, now the Mutas somehow bypass the Phoenixes
he
as
gets
well.
into the
Again,
bucket.
a total of 19 probes.
That shouldn't have happened. herO making mistakes.
The defense here needs to be strong from Solar as well, as the Blink Stalkers find their way across the map. Banelings being used defensively as the Hydras also spawn out at the perfect time. All the Mutas and Corruptors getting traded out, and the Phoenixes are there to defend. They could come to the front lines eventually as well, as they're also pretty decent against.
It's getting messy. It's getting very, very messy. Solar, he just threw away all of his Banelings and all of his Mutas. He's down to Ling Hydra.
Hydra count is quite low right now, but herO's got to be careful with these blinks. It's tough to get on top of this army, especially with
hero's moving and he can lift.
Already done. I would love to take out
the
this
boys are being pulled. Solar's getting desperate.
Solar now herO moving forward. The Phoenixes, will he also blink forward to try and give them cover? No, it seems like instead the Phoenix is going to get slowly picked off here by the Hydras on the flank. It's a very close fight. I think that Solar with the drone pull should be able to stabilize, but there's more.
Yes, Solar with reinforcements, he might have enough, but he's running out of Hydras.
A couple of Corruptors
he's running out
as well, but the Phoenix is still
here.
Able to stay
he's moving in. He
blinks.
blinks.
Just that much extra DPS.
Oh my god!
Lifting up some of these Hydras as well. This is looking like it's starting to snowball right now for herO. The upgrades really helping as well.
Here he barely has enough. He breaks on through the defensive line. 17 drones go down, and herO, he's done it. He's broken Solar.
This is really good for herO right now after losing so many probes. Just immediately sending it across the map and going for the big all-in play seems to be the correct choice.
I mean, this is a running theme in PvZ. If you're able to deal with the Muta Corruptor flock as well as herO did, usually the counterpunch is close to fatal, if not fatal. And herO, he is beginning to transition.
And now you might be thinking like, oh, Solar held. Solar, he's in a rough position. Solar's down in workers, down in economy, down in supply. herO's not able to build up. Now, thankfully, the one saving grace actually here is that herO has no Temple Archives. Without the Temple Archives, there's no Storm, there's no Archon. So herO, he actually backs off and he has to wait at home until he gets Storm. So Solar, he has time to rebuild and time to breathe.
Already parked his army by that 4th base. And I think for herO, once he's able to add in, these folks actually going to run into the Banelings.
Very nice connections.
Well,
Yeah, well, I mean, that's one way to deal with them, I suppose.
that was an expensive way to deal with them, so a bit unfortunate, but maybe he won't be too sad. Of course, his economy is still intact, so that's still good, of course, and that's a lot of gas as well on those banelings. So Solar,
as we're alluding to, I mean, those were better connections for Solar. That was a better trade for the Zerg player, but herO, as long as he can secure these 4 bases and maintain these 4 bases, herO, he's just snowballing out of control. Solar's all in. Solar has to commit. That's why if you look at the production tab, Solar's not droning, intentionally so. He knows that Solar knows that he cannot macro out of this. He cannot macro.
Yeah, especially rallying Hydras across the map. If Phoenix are able to isolate just 1 or 2 of them, they get one shot by Phoenix in these numbers. So herO trying to get the damage done that he can, and Solar has been basically forced into what is an all-in position. He hasn't made any more.
Oh, he said it
since that last attack
for the
at
first time
base.
tonight.
It's just been Hydralisks and Zerglings
He
here
said
for
it.
herO. And if Solar wants to make a timing attack work here,
Say it isn't wrong. Solar is all in.
I think before the mothership is done, because Storm is already finished. That makes things.
So you said herO wears glasses now. Like, herO's been wearing glasses for a couple of years. It's been a couple of years. Very often herO, he takes off the glasses for like photo shoots and stuff like that, but he's been wearing glasses for quite some time.
Gearing up for Solar to throw an attack at herO, and herO is getting active on the map. He is looking.
If you remember, I believe herO started wearing glasses during the maybe in the final year of the Pro League era, I want to say.
Going in with the Storms now on the right-hand side, we'll be able to get a couple good connections, even going onto the drone lines. I mean, Solar just cannot engage into this location. It's such a small choke point. The Storms have been so good so far.
Excellent control there by herO, engaging, dropping down Storms, forcing Solar
to
chase into them, and then blinking back.
But again, he like takes them off for like photo shoots and things of that nature.
To the orange HP, as Solar's gonna be going for one more engagement. It looked like, but I mean, the army of Solar is now so meager. It's really hard to kind of find the right angle. It feels like herO is just slowly whittling him down.
Yeah, this is so difficult. You can see the posturing from here as well, knowing this position, just leading with those 2 Templar, just baiting Solar to try and...
It's like Classic, right? Like Classic's also been wearing glasses for a good amount of years, but he takes them off for like photo shoots and things of that nature as well.
That was pretty sick, but there's still so much more where that came from, and herO has just got such a good army supply. His economy is totally untouched. The Mothership's going to be joining very soon as well. He's got Tempest coming out. This extra base is coming online. This game is all herO.
All right, Solar been trying to isolate this army here on the flank side, but Storms, they do so much damage to these Hydras and Lings.
And once again, the only chance Solar has here is if herO overextends. So if he pushes on creep too deeply and too far and then gets surrounded, then maybe Solar can win a fight. But herO, as long as he's locked in and he's focusing on his army control, he should be fine. Should be fine.
Time Warp dropping down is going to zone away the Hydras. This hatchery absolutely getting taken out. And I do not see a way for Solar to clean up this army.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Solar at this point. The Overseer's coming, but just a little bit too late, as the surprise of the Mothership cloaking has already done its damage, basically, forcing that base to get killed off. This one is also pretty much going to fall soon after, assuming that herO just wants to end this one, as the rest of his army does join on up. Starts to lift up some more of those Hydras. And herO will be bringing us to a game number 5.
What a fun series between these two. We've had some really creative builds. We've had some back and forth games.
GG, well played. Whew, with that, here he does have the series suited to here. Once again, I said it during the GSL cast. I'm saying it here during the RSL co-stream. I still don't fully understand why Solar lets Celestial Enclave through the veto process. Like, we have seen Solar let it through the vetoes and either all in or go mutas time and time again, and we've seen it fail time and time again as well. It's just so difficult. It's so difficult to really maintain that momentum, because to be fair, to give Solar credit, the mutas got scouted, that is true, but he still killed a bunch of probes. Remember, like, he had Ling Bane in the natural, in the main base, in the third, like the mutas were hitting the pocket expansion as well. Like, Solar, he was doing damage, but despite that, it didn't really matter because this map favors defensive play and herO stabilized, right? Despite losing all those workers, herO, he still stabilized, he still turtled up, and he still was able to build up a death ball of an army and then break out across the map. Solar, despite the damage he was dealing, he was not able to really keep herO contained, right? He couldn't keep him contained, he couldn't break that defensive position either, and eventually herO snowballed out of control. And again, on another map, this can maybe work even better for Solar, but specifically on Celestial, it's just easier to start to slow the game down, to start to get your momentum back, of course, to stabilize, to defend, and to build up your army. And here he just snowballed out of control. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into the ace match, and we're going to be loading into Ruby Rock, a very small map of the map pool. Small map of the map pool, short rush distance by ground. Once again, aggression is favored here on Ruby Rock.
everything is in your favor because Solar's gone for this army, which is highly mobile, but is not very capable at taking a head-on engagement. And you can push across the map as Protoss. You can take down a base. You can take some favorable trades with the ground army of Zerg. That is what herO did, and he was able to leverage it into a win. But now we're going to go to Ruby Rock for set number 5. One of these players will be advancing into the upper bracket final. The other will fall to the lower bracket.
All right, we got herO on the top left-hand side and Solar over on the bottom right-hand side. I think one of the other very important things about that game as well is just how quick herO was able to transition into the Phoenix range, because he was already getting that fleet beacon before he even got the confirmation of the Mutas coming out. He was just going for the very fast fleet beacon for the fast mothership, which is something that he does like to do in this matchup to defend against the lair all-ins, just try to get that really fast mothership for the cloak and other utility. So he was already going for that, able to just immediately start up the Phoenix range when it finished as the Mutas were scouted. So that definitely helped to defend against that much better as well compared to
kind of like getting into fast Phoenix range. Did it help? It did help, but I would say that what was better there was the positional play of herO. Having, if you recall, we were seeing the defense of herO, where we saw like Lings, Mutas in, Mutas moving in as well, and herO, he was able to keep up, right? He was able to keep units in position, able to react in time, able to defend, and able to secure his 4 bases. Even without the extra range on the Phoenix, like, he would have still been able to have the same success. Obviously, the extra range did help when it came to like hunting or chasing Mutas, or even getting an extra shot off as well. True, did help, but again, I was more so impressed by his positional play and his crisis management, despite losing so many workers initially.
GSL's in the past where he's gone into a 3-base mothership, but usually in modern PvZ, it's the 4th base. You know, you get that started. Now you can go for the fleet beacon. Now you can go for the mothership. You can start trickling out some Tempest. So really, the stars kind of aligned there for a herO that was gearing up for a long macro game versus Solar. But Ruby Rock, it's a different map. If you want to take a 3rd and a 4th base, that's about as easy as it gets in terms of expansions. Taking a 5th expansion is very hard here as Protoss, but even taking a 4th base, there is no safe option, whether you're expanding linearly down the
I was about to push back against what State is saying about how the 3rd and 4th are more open and exposed on this map. And they are.
Traverse that he can use to get good surrounds on you, that he can use to try and break away your position. Now, let's see how herO plays this.
Yeah, definitely an aggressive map overall compared to some of the other ones, so we'll see how aggressive either player wants to be, as the Stargate will be coming down yet again from herO, as again it's...
My assumption here, because this map favors aggression, is that herO is going to be aggressive himself. We could see Glaive Adepts, we could see early Blink, we could see early Charge instead, so we'll see how both players do open up and who will be the aggressor. One, the other, or both.
Either of them will do, and then you go into some sort of Twilight tech after that, so... I would be honestly blown away if herO decided to do anything else this series, so we'll just continue with that for now as the probe tries to get the information, try to deny this 3rd base for as long as possible, maybe tag it up with the Adept, but not quite able to deny it that long, as the Adept will now finally come on over and start to harass these Lings just a little bit.
Yeah, herO happy to trade out a little bit of whole HP on the Adept for some Zergling kills. He's able to pick off one of them. And yeah, it's a good point that you make about the Stargate being the first option here. Pretty much every single PvZ. It's just a matter of if you want to take a 3rd base as Protoss, there are so many early aggressive builds that Zerg can go for if you don't have oracles. But you know, hashtag Zergs famously, they don't have a lot of units that can shoot up. So you get an oracle, you get a couple of void rays, something in the air, and you have sustained damage that can actually secure an expansion. By the way, you're actually shading both of these Adepts into the main base. I don't know if he's going to be able to find that many drones with this, but he is trading pretty favorably with these Lings.
Ooh,
yeah, it's
of
course going to force a couple more Lings to be made in general, and also...
Yeah, a bit of mission control there out of Solar. Likewise, extra Lings did go down, so not a bad trade for herO. Even denying mining, oh my god! There's 4!
Now the Oracle even finding some extra damage as well, but unfortunate on that miss micro towards the end of that.
2 drone kills, and lost mining.
But still, 2 drones and a couple of Lings like that early on without losing. I think he only lost 1 Adept, right? It's honestly not bad. It's a good trade.
Yeah, only 1 Adept falling so far. 2 drones and 4 Zerglings in total.
I don't want them to understate just how much damage that was, just because there was 0 mining at the natural for quite some time. Like, that was brutal.
3rd base. We'll see where hero's going to go with this game.
So early game is in favor of herO so far.
Out of the Stargate, out of the 3rd base, are we going to be seeing +1 charge zealots? Will we have Blink come through? Will it be Fast Templar again? There are a couple of different ways that you can play this, and I love.
So we have a relatively earlier Twilight Council on Forge. I'm leaning towards Charge here, but it could be Blink. We'll see.
Any of these matches versus Solar so far.
Yeah, this is looking really good. Will it be able to deny a creep tumor?
Oh, he gets in. 3 more drones. 4. Oh, good.
Are coming from in the early game. Gets an extra drone here and there as well. Shades right on out. So yeah, herO being very active with these early units.
Lair first out of Solar, not Eva Chamber this time. It looks like Solar's going to commit harder into Roaches.
Early game start here from herO. He's going to be feeling very comfortable.
Yeah, and I wonder how much this early damage is going to be changing the game plan here from herO. Because I'm sure that herO is loading into Ruby Rock with kind of an idea of where he wants to take the game. But this has been about as fortunate as an early game could possibly get here for Protoss. He's picked off a lot of drones in total with the Oracles, with the Adepts early on. He's taken out a lot of Lings. I mean, we're at 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Protoss is now secured at third base, and the work counts are 53 to 50, and herO's going to catch even more drones. I mean, the damage just keeps adding up. He might even be able to get 1 or 2 more here. He wants to trade out one of these Oracles. You know, it's always a bad feeling losing an Oracle, but honestly, the drone damage, yeah, just go for it, because the drone damage has already been so high that every subsequent drone loss, it feels like it's even more painful for Solar than the first couple. I mean, 12 drones have fallen.
Insane.
This is a great trade.
And 10 Lings. Yeah, that's crazy.
So I wonder if herO now, you get this much
That's crazy. Done. It is crazy.
You might as well, in my opinion,
True.
just really start to ramp up the
behind this here, he went for Blink, not Charge, which is going to be better against Roaches. As we mentioned before, it was Roach Warren first, Lair first, not Eva Chamber, so Roach heavy style. And herO, he's so far like in control.
I mean, the Adepts are once more in the third.
He gets in.
Yeah, he's just going balls to the wall at this point with this harass, and it's doing so well overall.
15 drone kills.
Every single time you kill these early drones, it's forcing the Zerg to remake them, so it's taking them longer to get to the point where they want to then stop to then make extra units. But they're being forced to make all the units early, and so their economy doesn't actually get to flourish at the right time. So then you're able to snowball this as the Protoss to an eventual victory if everything goes the way that it should. So now with Blink about to finish, +1 also.
I mean, it's all been going here his way, and he's not stopping with the momentum. He's pushing already.
Oracle's still trying to find as much as they can as the stasis will be able to get half a mineral line in the main as well. This is just looking so good every single time for herO.
It feels like the game is spiraling out of control right now for Solar. I mean, there's only 2 Oracles on the map, and one of them has been harassing the main base with stasis wards, so it's really only 1 Oracle assisting the Stalkers here for herO, and you might think that might be good for Solar because suddenly the Lings can get a surround, but it's a Roach-based composition. You can't actually get the meaningful surround on the Stalker
the fleet beacon already?
And herO is just really
he's clowning. Going for the stasis. Ooh, he's denied.
With all these Stalker warpins, I mean, we do have a fleet beacon transition behind this, but so much of the game plan here for herO is just chipping away.
It's such a fast beacon and a fast mothership. It's crazy.
He knows that he has Solar in really dire straits.
Yeah, this is this trademark herO play of going for this super fast fleet beacon.
Solar's all in. If you look at Solar, he's so far behind. So Solar, he has to go for the all in. Solar's going for Pneumatize Carapace, so Overlord speed. He's going for a Job Lord based all in with the German taxi. Now, herO, is he being too greedy? That fleet beacon is greedy, by the way. herO going for a mothership at this early on is greedy, and he might get punished for it here because Solar is not joining.
And will be able to kill off this base on the right-hand side and then blink on out, but the army from Solar still is very large.
Like, hero's doing so much damage, it's good, don't get me wrong, but like, he's got to recognize what he's forcing out of Solar.
Yeah, but again, it's a Roach-based army, and so it doesn't have the mobility to actually chase down this Stalker ball, and that's why herO can blink forward, snipe a hatchery, lose a couple of Stalkers on the retreat, but mostly get away unscathed. And with a mothership coming in right now as well, I know that Solar is adding Hydras into this composition, but doing that on the back of a 3-base economy against a herO who will soon be on
so Solar, he did throw down his Hydrogen a couple of moments ago here. This tells us that and I did see him drone actually, so he wants to try to transition out of this.
Overeager with these Stalkers if he wants to get back in this game.
The initial plan was for Job Lords, but it looks like he's like pivoting away from that.
Killing off all those creep tumors earlier on in the game with the Oracles is really helping this as well, and you're continuing to do that. You just saw it again. You did another revelation to kill another one. You're able to get so much leverage on the map if you can deny the creep. He's just blinking all over the place, rotating left and right, making it so difficult for Solar to actually get in the right position, to know where these attacks are even coming from. The creep, a lot of times, is what allows the Zerg to be able to respond so well to a lot of the Protoss attacks, but he's just not really able to do that. He's losing bases on the left, he's losing bases on the right earlier as well. And now
Second
we've got the
StarCade.
Tempest fully coming on, and the Mothership's about to finish up. Plus
So
3
basically what's happening in this game is that herO, he's had a phenomenal early mid game where Solar's basically dead in the water, but instead of herO going into Colossus or Storm as a follow-up, he's being hyper greedy and hyper risky by rushing into Tempest and Fleet Tempest and a Mothership with a Fleet Beam into Sky Toss. It means that he has a bit of a weaker follow-up because there's no splash damage immediately, but he is kind of like rushing and skipping a bunch of steps all the way to the late game. It is a really risky thing to do. It does mean that Solar has a chance to maybe overwhelm because there are no storms, so we'll see. I mean, Solar's still behind. It's still a rough game. Okay, he just blinks in.
Of the Hydras and Roaches,
He's crazy.
there were enough Zealots there on the front line that herO felt confident to get in range, especially with the safety of the Mothership. There is no detection for Solar again.
Wow, just really not expecting these fast Motherships as
Oh my god.
The Overseers yet again just a few seconds too late, so the extra burst damage from that fast cloak is able to pay off, kills off a base again, and then is able to blink away to safety. The drop in the main base wasn't able to do all that much, but actually it looks like the Hydras will get on top of that Mothership and barely kill it off at the last second, so that's still a nice trade there.
Yeah, once again, herO rushing into Tempest like this is killing him. He could have already had all these High Templar and Storm and Archons right now. He chose not to. So herO's making this harder on himself.
I mean, this is the moment for Solar to get something done. We don't have any splash damage here for herO. He cannot warp in Templar and recharge them for Storm. There's no Storm even a research. No Templar Archives even built for herO because he was trying to play this game where he trades constantly with the Zerg, where he capitalizes on the Zerg's really poor economy early on. And Mapu did correct me, we do have a Templar Archives. I'm not sure if we have Storm out just yet.
No, Storm
it
is
really
not
is just a basic gateway army, and Solar are doing a great job capitalizing on herO, blinking forward like that. Solar right now with a Hydra Ball. This is the army that has more DPS. It is Solar's now. herO's the one with mobility, but can he actually utilize that to keep Solar on his side of the map?
For now, it looks like Solar is respecting that and will just be staying between these two bases.
So basically, this game, herO, he was dominating early on and winning the game, and now he's killing himself. Like again, rushing into double Stargate Tempest production as quickly as he did, like it's hurting herO more than helping, so far at least. Obviously, the end game, if he maxes out, like that should be a superior composition, that is true, but we could have seen herO end the game already by now if he had gone for earlier splash damage. So herO's not making it easy for himself.
And the drones will not be able to stay alive. They're going to be forced to retreat, or they're going to get killed off as Solar puts them back for just a moment there. So again, the economy for Solar is just in the dumps.
Yeah, but this is a tricky position right now for herO. He's worked himself into a
coming in first round.
Blink and recall to get out of here, and I don't know if the Tempest can
he catch the Tempest?
Solar collapsing on this position. There's the recall, but it's only about half of the Protoss army.
Oof.
Oh, Solar, he is starting to turn this game around. It began with the first attack with herO at the third base, able to win a trade as herO blinked forward aggressively, and now able to take out a lot more of the Protoss army. Is it going to be enough, though? herO, he's going for another counterattack. Coming in with a lot of charge zealots, trying to get some more damage done. The Templar Archives fell. I'm not even sure if Storm finished recalling, but now we have a Warp Prism main base. There's a skirmish in the center of the map. There is action everywhere.
Still no Storm.
No Storm.
Yeah, this is getting really scrappy right now for both players. They're trying to find any
I'll be honest,
sort of
I don't think herO knows that he doesn't have Storm. He has 5 High Templar, full of energy, and there's no Storm.
On the bottom left and sending things to that base on the bottom side. Able to keep Solar on his side of the map for now. Even tried to keep some of these Tempests alive, and we'll be able to do that as well with some reinforcing Blink Stalker. So nice for herO to be able to keep some of these units alive, but now the big army from Solar has found some room to move to the bottom left.
Yeah, some more Archons.
That was denied initially, and that's going to make this defense much more difficult.
Oh man, a Solar, he's turning this game around, Gemini. I can't believe it. He's going to take down this base in the bottom left. I don't know if herO thought that Storm was done, but it wasn't researching at the Templar Archives. There's no splash damage still for herO. Solar pushing in to the third base after taking out the fourth. herO relying right now on Stalkers and Immortals to defend, but that is not good against the Hydraless composition of Solar.
Yeah, this is actually crazy that Solar's been able to find a way back in this game, killing 25 probes and even taking a favorable trade right now, killing Templar Archives yet again. So still none of being warped in at this point. The unit's just getting killed.
Solar, he's running out of steam a little bit here, but he does have enough. Yeah, he does have enough. He can keep pushing. He's gonna get the immortal as well. And once again, like, hero's killing himself. Like, hero chose to rush into Tempest like this. Like hero's gonna hold on here, but again, it's not clean.
Trying to kill off some of these extra units and will eventually be able to kill some of these, but the Tempest dying in the air as well. I mean, hero's now down to 80 supply.
Hero suffered so many losses. Yeah, I'm not sure that his economy can really support a transition into splash damage. Again, Storm is not researched. We have 8 sentries warping in for hero because really there's no better way to spend the money. There's no minerals. Even the third base is halfway mined out for hero. He desperately needs a 4th expansion. Meanwhile, Solar on his side of the map, he's re-expanding to the triangle base. He's taken or resaturated his top right expansion as well. I think Solar might be turning this one around, but hero, he's got 1 or 2.
Like Solar, he was able to hang in there, and Solar was in one of those positions where you're hoping for your opponent to make mistakes, and that's what happened. Nice force fields without Ravagers, like the force shields, they can excel, but there's still no 4th expansion.
Liberty coming out right now at minute 15 in this PvZ in 2026. I have not seen this in quite a hot minute, but we're gonna see how much this can do as heroes. Of course, this is basically gonna be one of his last hurrahs. He's barely mining off of these 3 bases. A couple lings will also try to find their way in here to disrupt that economy even further, and now hero continuing this march.
Yeah, hero's all in. At this point, hero's completely all in. With some well-placed force fields, he can slice the army up.
These force fields when they get placed, but there's not going to be that many biles, and there's still going to be a lot of force fields. So there's still a
some force fields. Zones back the army. Okay.
What year is this? Look at this fight taking place. So many force fields drop down. Unfortunately,
the sentries. No, they're going down.
On those sentries.
Oof.
They do get traded out with a lot of Hydras, though. Now the drone's getting pulled. Hero's army cannot dispatch of drones very quickly. It's very burst damage focused with the Stalkers and the Immortals. So Hero backing off for now. Going to be taking 1 minute before going in again.
He's not got that much economy as well, so of course you can't really warp in too much.
That's the boys
across the map just to try and clinch this. Basically, Hero realizing that he's got to go fully all in this position. More sentries and stalkers getting warped in just to try and make this as good as possible, using the micro potential and the utility.
God, the Immortals are solo as well. He wants one. He wants Immortal. Does kite back. Probes are here.
The drones also being moved from Solar. Every last unit is being used in this final fight.
All right, Hero has to utilize the survivability of the Blink Stalkers if he wants to win the trade here. You got to dodge the Biles, blink all of these Stalkers back, trying to deal with the pressure coming out from Solar. I mean, Hero keeps attacking in. The sentries, the force field's able to isolate more Hydralisks here. The drones once more getting pulled. So many of Hero's Stalkers are deep in the red. The DPS
Hero made this game so hard for himself, and he's doing it just barely.
Oh, the Bile.
Oh my God,
dude. Solar.
The barriers on the Immortals trigger again, so they stay alive in the last second. He's able to kill the base. The micro ability of these units is so strong. Both players now down to 40 workers apiece, and the upgrades really singing true right now for Hero. +3 attack, +1 shield, only +2 attack for Solar. This is getting so scrappy, and to the point where now Hero has an opportunity to again bring this back into his
Hero does pull away. He does back up. He does give Solar a little bit of time to breathe.
10 minutes, I feel like this has just been an absolutely ridiculous game, and I really don't know who's even going to win at this point.
Oh, it's been an absolutely crazy game number 5. As we take inventory of the minerals here, very few resources left. And all the expansions of Hero, the main, there's only 135 minerals left in one lone patch, so Hero instead focusing on distance mining from this expansion. And even throwing down a Nexus at this point is kind of a risky maneuver here for Hero. I mean, 400 minerals is a lot, and I think this is brilliant.
That's sick.
Motherships are so good in these kind of scrappy situations right now, as well as a Warp Prism.
Yeah, massive overextension. Hero made a mistake.
Find any sort of value. Every unit is crucial in a moment like this when a Stalker falling like that is going to have repercussions later in this game. But Hero, even though he lost the Warp Prism, lost the Stalker, he was able to pull Solar down to the south side, and that means that Hero can snipe the hatchery in progress.
Yeah, that's a very nice pickoff there for Hero, making the best of what this situation has lended to him. And of course, that mothership is going to be key.
Here we have money. Where's the Nexus?
Looks like it probably will. Solar's not trying to force the issue at this point. He's just trying to recover right now. He's trying to get into a situation where he can just get enough units out. He thinks that he's got Hero down into a situation where he should eventually.
Solar's committing into the 4th location where there is no 4th.
Hero's sitting here just on this 3, and it's going to be really outmined very soon here.
There's no overseer on the map right now for Solar.
God.
I don't think that he's going to be expecting the mothership to come in.
No, of course not.
Here he has to get the hell out of here.
Oh, you got to be careful with these Hydras. If they get isolated by the Stalkers, it could be really deadly here for Solar.
Nice force
Already,
fields.
a lot of them getting chipped off. He sees the mothership. This should give
Stalkers,
Solar
they
time
barely try to get
a couple
away.
overseers on the map, but was he really watching? There's no overseer started just yet. I think he was focused on microing the army to try and catch the Stalkers on the top side. Oh, this cloak could be huge here for herO. Mothership slightly lagging behind the army right now.
Where's
Solar
the cloak?
No
There it is. Oh, he catches it.
And the
The
time warp
slow
as well.
zone.
Oh my god, what a swing right now for herO. He's actually making this happen. The mothership was not scouted, was not seen. There was nothing here
The
for Solar.
boys.
No overseers. The probes getting pulled yet again. herO is finding a way back into this game number 5.
Oh, the mothership timing, so clutch here for herO. He was able to pick off so many units with those force fields because the overseers.
The boys are too good, Pappy. They're too good.
All the probes are getting pulled. All the drones are getting pulled. It's going to be one last stand. herO just waiting for the right moment. Cloak, it's about 3/4 done. Time warp also nearly available. There's no rush for either side, but herO says, screw it, let's go in right now. Guardian Shield is gonna pop. Mothership not able to cast
diving on the
just yet, but I think
Hydras.
herO might just have enough.
Ravager's going down. Baze will zone away.
Still, Solar standing strong. There's the cloak. We have a detection right there where the overseer gets sniped. The Stalkers blink forward. They
Zero
snipe the overseer.
detection.
Solar can see nothing.
This is going crazy for herO right now. I mean, the mothership is providing so much utility. It's providing so much staying power for this army when really everything was lost for herO. He's found a way back in this game. Solar trying to get anything reinforcing. He's got just little couple units just out of nowhere, just from the right-hand side, not actually doing anything. Another snipe on that overseer. Solar is down to 37 supply, and herO is still managing to get a few more units out. This is looking hopeless right now for Solar, I feel like.
Oh, the mothership still standing strong. The Stalker count is so low. herO, he's going to blink back. He's going to pivot down towards the 6 o'clock base. That is the next target. He's already
the sentries are coming in once again. There's only 2 Ravagers.
Take out this hatchery. That will be the
The
final
force
nail
fields,
in the
Pappy.
coffin here for Solar and herO.
He locks it
He
in.
smells blood in the water. He's charging forward.
GG.
GG and a fist pump.
Oh
my
my
herO.
God.
He's going to take this series 3-2 and move on to the upper bracket finals. And that was one of the best PvZs that we've had all year.
Dude, I love it when force fields find a way to come back in this matchup. They've been kind of
GG, well played. herO, he won this game like 10 minutes ago, and herO did everything he could to lose that game. That was insane. Again, we were being very critical of herO's decision to go into the Fleet Beacon and to go into the Mothership when he did, and go into Tempest when he did, and it straight up almost killed him. Like, it gave Solar a big way in as he was able to catch the army time and time again. Splash damage never factored in because herO was spending all his money on the Fleet Beacon and on the second Stargate and on the Tempest and on the Mothership. Eventually, herO tried to work up into Storm. But I don't know if you noticed, we didn't point it out ourselves, but the Temple Archives was at the 4th location. He kept throwing it down at the 4th, and because the 4th was the base that wasn't most exposed, it kept going down. Like the Temple Archives went down twice throughout the course of that game. That's why Storm never did complete, and the 4th base, of course, going down as well. So it was a very, very shaky mid to late game there for herO, as he did make it hard for himself. Solar, he fought back, of course. He was able to recover after a disastrous early game. Despite that, though, herO still does clutch it out. As they were mentioning, I do appreciate as well herO seeing the way in, seeing the light, which was the sentries, right? Because of the low eco and because of the lack of Ravagers, sentries and force fields were the MVPs of those past like 5 minutes. Like force fields, they were so clutch and so on point due to lack of Ravagers and lack of biles and lack of way to deal with them, and Solar who's being sliced up like crazy. GG. GG. I say the force fields were the MVPs. The boys were the MVPs. herO, how often did he pull the probes? Like 2-3 times? Okay, GG. GG, well played. With that, herO does advance on. Shout out to Solar for making a series out of it, of course, for having a clutch back and forth between himself and herO. And with that, we are now getting ready for our final series of the broadcast. It is going to be Clem versus Lambo. Clem versus Lambo in a best of 5.
I feel excited for a ZBZ, but let me tell you, Gemini, I'm excited about that ZBZ.
So true, State, so true. Anyways, go ahead and check us out on YouTube, all you guys. It's been great to get this YouTube going, but we still need some more help. There's also this new hype feature
Also, I
that's
agree.
available on the mobile app.
I agree,
You
Icestan.
go down
Protoss
to the
OP, they
comment
can win
section
even
where
without the
that
best full
is,
storm.
swipe to
Ah,
be able
don't
to
be a
hype
clown,
video. It
Pappy,
helps
don't
us
be a
out in the
clown.
algorithm a little bit.
Bearing in mind that Solar he had a worse early and mid game. Like Solar, he was dead in the water from the beginning. Solar's ability to recover in that game was very impressive. But again, why was Solar so far behind? Solar, he failed to defend against the Adept harass, the Oracle harass, the Stalker aggression, the Stalker timing as well. Like Solar, he was very rough around the edges in the beginning, which is why herO was as greedy as he was in the aftermath. Arguably too greedy, but again, it was Solar struggling quite hard early on. Like that was a crazy first 10 minutes of the game. But GG, well played. With that, we're going to be cutting to a short break. We'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon.
One sentry drone.